Toy Story 5 and Vibe.
Purchase a Bear. Today we're at Disney's Hollywood Studios because it's the best place to be a toy.
We're going to Roundup Rodeo Barbecue.
Yes, it has been a while since we've basically been waiting for Toy Story 5 to come out, and now that it's out, we're going to eat and give you our thoughts on the movie as well. It's the perfect time for us to go to try the food so you don't have to. This is your number one choice of foodie infotainment. That's just what we do. Remember, she's vegan. I'm not. Let's go be toys.
Let's give you our thoughts on Toy Story 5, Vibe, Foodie, and Chill.
Let's be honest, the real reason we're all here is for the biscuit. If we're immersing ourselves in the world of the toy, what better place to start than the Prospector's Cheddar Biscuits? The man may be a little bit evil, but he knows how to do a biscuit. Nice, fluffy, and light. And then you have this delicious jacuzzi of pepper jelly. This pepper jelly is amazing. I recommend, if you want, keeping this to put on everything. I know you have 3 barbecue sauces on the table, but this pepper jelly, amazeballs. Moist, cheddar-filled, and delicious. Everything a Popeye's cheddar biscuit wishes it was and everything that it's not. And yes, I will never pass up a moment to disparage a Popeye's cheddar biscuit because, well, they are awful. That, though, tasty. I can do the whole basket of those to go. I don't know, give it to me, but a basket of those to go with like a gallon of the jelly. 4.5 out of 5 plus.
I have the Chef Mike bread as the vegan bread. It is as old as Woody and his bright spot with his poncho and stuff that you've seen in the trailer. If you watch the trailer, watch the trailer. If you are interested in the movie at all. All right. Chef Mike bread with a sauce. Will it be better than Kona, which is now the standard for Chef Mike bread? No, it's not better than Kona. But I do agree with Bear that you do need to keep the sauce to put on other things. There are plenty of vegan things you can put the sauce on as well. The bread is I'll give it a 2 out of 5 breads. It gives good bread, but it's mostly because of the sauce.
Now, if you're in this wondering for like the spoiler-free review, that will come throughout the video. But if you're wondering if you should go see Toy Story 5, yes. I know a lot of people have been questioning whether or not it's a movie that has any purpose. Should they have made this? I don't know if I can answer that question. But as 2 people on this channel who love and consume media as like art, who love the process and everything else that goes behind it, I understand why this movie exists, and I think it's worthy of its existence, at the very least. As for the Chef Mike bread, it's also another thing that I'm glad exists. I mean, I'll always enjoy her, but I'm glad she exists. Honestly, if even only as a spoon for the pepper jelly, I'll take it. I'll take it with that over Earth Balance any day of the week. 3.75 out of 5 plus.
This salad is one of my favorite salads they offer here at Roundup Rodeo. I love the way it just tastes. It's very Persian coated, which is my jam, of course. Of course. Now, these tomato pieces are freaking huge compared to normal. And there's herbs. I want a small tomato. Okay, here we go. With the onion, this is what I've been waiting all week for. Considering how hot it is outside, I don't understand why Woody's doesn't serve something like this. This would be great to eat outside in the heat. I love this. This is a 5 out of 5. This is a Princess's item. This is the salad of my dreams. And yes, I do dream about this salad.
I'm a bear that stands 100% on eat your veggies. I love a good salad and they are not to be ignored. I don't care if it's all you care to enjoy, family style buffet. I want my salads. Every single time. Tomatoes as red as Jesse's hair. And if the trailers didn't already tell you, like, Toy Story 5 is very much a Jesse movie. Like, I know that, you know, you see a lot of Woody. It's Jesse's movie. Woody, he's there. It's more of a cameo than a full-blown, like, story arc sort of thing. Tasty, crisp, refreshing, just like the movie. It was a breath of fresh air, honestly. I know I'm seeing a lot of discourse online about like the art style and if it holds up. Honestly, it's the prettiest that Toy Story has ever looked. Much like this salad. 4.5 out of 5 claws.
This is Wheezy's watermelon salad. It might make Bear wheeze. Now, they did actually change this on the menu a couple of months ago, and I wanted to come here and review this and just tell you guys that they changed the name of the salad, but Bear said no, because I also wanted to come here after we watched Toy Story 5. So they changed it to fruit salad. I think it's seasonal, but it's always been a watermelon salad, so it kind of confuses me as to why they changed the name. I totally expected when they changed it to fruit salad for it to be like a fruit salad with cantaloupe and honeydew and grapes and what you usually expect at a fruit salad. But no, it's watermelon with mint as per usual. Seedless watermelon, but they did kind of a bad job picking the seedless one. It is anything if not bright, refreshing, fresh watermelon. Probably Bear's most hated kind of watermelon. More watermelon for me, though I can't eat too much because it gives me a stomach ache, but I will definitely be enjoying this. Bear, you guys are going to see him cringe, and I feel bad already. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 watermelon.
A watermelon salad. I feel like it's strategically designed to make me sad, much like Toy Story movies, and this movie has plenty of it. There are tons of laughs, tons of lows, lots of like realistic life quotes to make you rethink your life. Very much in the vein of Toy Story. What Toy Story has done, it's more of the same from a different lens, and it works rather well. Yes, I'm stalling. I don't need this. I eat watermelon salads in hopes that one salad will match with the watermelon salad I used to get at Sanaa over at Animal Kingdom Lodge. I don't think any salad will ever match that one. But I continue to try these in hopes that one day I will find one that's even 80% as good as that salad was. This is just watermelon and mint. My hopes are low.
Come on, Ryder.
I would rather stand in the Woody's, Slinky Dog queue in the middle of summer in pants than have to consume this entire bowl. Luckily, I only have to have one bite. I do not like. Temper that with the fact that I despise watermelon in its many forms, and you really can't expect much more out of me. If we had been outside, this watermelon would now be in the bush as a donation to the ants. 1 out of 5 claws. With an asterisk, but a 1 out of 5 claws. One thing you must be always sure to ask for here is the plank salmon. It is by request. It does not normally get offered, but it is on the menu. It actually is on there. You just got to ask for it. It has always been consistently one of the best things here. It doesn't need any sauce. Doesn't need anything else, but it's one of the best things. I expect the salmon when I come here. Much like I expect a Pixar short on the front of my Pixar movies, and I did not get it. Pixar word. I know there are other Pixar movies in which shorts have not shown up, but on Toy Story, I expect it. I need it. I feel robbed. I feel empty. When the movie just started, I was kind of upset. Like, where's my short? Where is the creative talent of the Pixar team? I'm just going to go right into a movie? That feels wrong. But I am going right into the salmon. Plank and all. I like they give you a nice 2 pieces. They feel like they used to give you 1. I'll take the 2. I'll eat them both. I really don't care. There's a nice barbecue salmon, a char on there. Barbecue fish over barbecue meat any day of the week. That makes me miss the dancing of Mickey's Backyard Review because honestly, I want to go line dancing now for more salmon because that is delicious. The skin soaks up the barbecue sauce very well. Very light char, nothing horribly crunchy, and the fish is still extremely flaky and tasty. I love that. 5 out of 5 claws. It's on the Bear Sessions list every time you ask for this. Every time. Going all in on these tasty ribs. Solo dolo without the sauce, because the ribs, I feel like, are the backbone, the deputy of the plate. And I think the deputy of this movie, even though there are multiple, is definitely Buzz. He's like the emotional backbone of the movie, other than the main character. And Jesse's definitely the main character. Nice and tender ribs, light bit of char, but cooked perfection. They're not super chewy. You're not going to do a mouth workout as you're eating these ribs, but they have a nice smoky flavor to them. Everything you would expect from a Roundup barbecue. All you're missing is a bunch of horses and a chuck wagon. That is super delicious. I'm going to try a little ribs with the sauce. I don't feel like they need it, but you know what? We're going to go in a little bit of the sweet, because Buzz is a sweetheart. There we go. Sweet and tangy. It's given like a brown sugar-based sauce. Goes very well with the ribs. You will not be disappointed. Ribs on their own, I'm giving a solid 4 out of 5 claws. It's not polite pig barbecue, but for in-park, all you care to enjoy barbecue, it's hitting well above its weight class. With the sauce, I'm giving it a 4. The sauce is an option, but it doesn't improve or detract from the ribs.
Speaking of Buzz, Tim Allen actually had to retrain his voice to do Buzz Lightyear for Toy Story 5 because he sounded quote-unquote old, which makes sense considering the number of old jokes they made in the movie. So I have a rib chop, which is, I guess, my comparison to Bear's rib. It's already covered in barbecue sauce, and there is a sugar cane bone, so you can actually eat the whole thing. This is definitely my favorite item in the entire plant-based entree dish. However, this one is a little bit on the spicy side. It's usually a little bit more herbaceous and not so spicy, but I'm gonna take it. I'm still gonna give it a 5 out of 5. I still think it's a Princess Cities item, and I think that everybody should ask for it, try it. I mean, again, this is an all-you-care-to-enjoy restaurant, and at all of those ones, why not just try the entire menu? You don't have to order just the meat things. Get extras, especially if you want to, step outside your box a little bit. Just order one. Just see what you think.
Impossible rib chop. Tasty little boy. As I'm picking this up, it's a center of like Trixie's plant-based tray. I almost think it's funny that I get paper-lined trays here for barbecue. When we went to Regal Eagle, they gave me meat on like a raw pan. And I didn't think anything of it at first, but then one of you in the community pointed out, and now it's been bothering me. Like, in the back of my mind, like, they just gave me meat on like a raw tray. I don't know how I feel about that. Them spices is definitely not tricksy and false. They are the truth. It does have a little bit of heat to it, even for me. I would give it like 2.5 out of 10 on the heat scale, but tons of like flavor. You're getting like that Southwest spice with the smoke. Very, very unique. Still one of the most unique impossible items you can get in Crown Walt Disney World. Sugarcane bone. You can eat it. I wouldn't suggest it in most cases. It's kind of like a chew. But getting like the impossible rib chop like on the bone, something very unique that we've only seen in things that we've like specially ordered from out of the country. That is a 5 out of 5 claws. That's on the Bear Sessies list. They should offer these, and it's a go window. Just like a basket of wings, almost. Try not to judge me too harshly for using a knife and fork to eat this barbecue. I have to hold the camera after every one of these takes. That makes it kind of difficult.
Introduce the roughest, toughest.
We'll go ahead and cut right into this spiraled smoked sausage. This is one thing that I'm glad they only give me one of, because it's almost always too much. I don't think I've ever once finished this sausage. Ooh, look at the char on the bottom. That is beautimous. In the middle of a toy rave, a Rex rave. If more sausages tasted like that, I would eat far more of them. They've locked in the smoke, a nice little char. A little grease, but not overly greasy. It definitely feels like a sausage made over like a outdoor fire. And I appreciate that. I would give that 3.75 out of 5 claws.
The Beyond Bratwurst is something that is slowly disappearing from Walt Disney World parks. No longer at BB Wolf's. There's a new hot dog here at Rosie's that they use the spicy Italian. The only place I know that we have bratwurst now is here and Biergarten/Summerfest. So I'm scared for the future of the bratwurst. And I know what it tastes like already. We all know what Beyond Bratwurst tastes like on its own. So let me throw some of this classic sauce on it. Whoop. I actually did a really bad job with that. Really bad. All right. I think I made a mistake picking the classic sauce. I was going to use the red pepper jelly, but they accidentally took mine. I'm not using theirs, so I think that's on me. I think it's very well cooked. This is definitely one of those locations that can cook a Beyond sausage really well. I'm just really sad that it's going to be going soon, maybe, and I don't know how to feel about it. But put some sauce on it, and it's a good little like smoky situation. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 Beyond sausages.
Beyond sausage sitting in a bowl next to Impossible. It's given Buzz and Woody vibes, two at one time mortal enemies that somehow managed to exist side by side in one place. Thematically, that works for me. The princess tried the classic sauce. I'm going to go with this spicy. I don't remember the sauce ever really truly being spicy, but I will do anything to make Beyond Meat just a little bit more palatable for myself. I say for myself. The spicy sauce is given like a 3 pepper watered down Tabasco. I remember why I rarely eat it, because it's not necessarily the best. I think the classic and the sweet are the best sauces here. The Beyond is quintessential Beyond. It's cooked well. You have that traditional Beyond flavor. No surprises there. It's definitely cooked to perfection. It's Beyond. I think on this plate, it blends in rather nicely. It feels like part of the group, part of the ship. I'll give that 3.5 out of 5 claws. Time for what I believe to be one of the most underrated items in this all you care to enjoy plate is the roasted chicken. I know you have all the other exotic things on here. You have the slab roast beef, the ribs, the sausage, but to me, the chicken. Next to the salmon, underrated, underappreciated. It's another one of those things that exists perfectly well on its own. It doesn't need any sauce. Nice and juicy, seasoned, and very smoky. I think it locks in the smoky flavor of barbecue better than anything else on this plate. And honestly, I could devour copious amounts of this. Like I was Rex. I'd even do like the T-Rex arms and like dive into my plate. I give that 4 out of 5 claws.
The cauliflower is the last thing in my entree, and it is tried and true, wonderful little cauliflower steak. I love the topping on here. It's super, super nice. It reminds me of that song that Jessie got to sing for her owner, Emily, that When Somebody Loves You song, that one that tugs on everyone's heartstrings. Yeah, if that song triggers you to cry, you need to bring some tissues to Toy Story 5. This is one of my favorite cauliflower offerings that they have in one of these all you care to enjoy experiences. I wish that Hoopty did that. Hoopty's is a little not as exciting, but I'll take it. I'll give it a 4.75 out of 5 cauliflowers.
All right, folks.
Roundup Rodeo is the closest I've ever come to loving country music. I love the soundtrack in here. This loop, it gets me. On to the cauliflower because it is blooming. Much like the idea of the movie Blooms, this movie is very much about the intersection of our nostalgia and technology nowadays and like what that's done to us as a people and children. And I think it handles that subject matter with both nuance and like a touch that's going to resonate with a lot of people, both in good and bad ways. But I think it handles the subject matter well. And I don't think there's any other property that could have handled it as well as Toy Story does. Crunch on that cauliflower. It needs to be studied, both in the texture they managed to have in the cauliflower while still roasting it, and the breadcrumbs on top. Perfection. A little overly smoky, got a little bit heavy on the smoke, but still very good. I would give that 4.5 out of 5 claws. I really feel that, much like this is what the cauliflower should be, I wrote this down when we were watching the movie because I wanted to be sure that I said this to you guys. This will make no sense until you see the movie, and I'm not explaining any kind of context. But Toy Story 5 is the Terminator move that James Cameron should have made. No explanation. See it, and then come back and comment. Now here comes my least favorite part of basically all the kid enjoys. Every buffet across Walt Disney World. The sliced beef just never speaks to me. I'm not saying some of it isn't good. It's just not changing my mind at all. Like, it's okay. But when so many other things on the plate, I don't understand why I would want this. Now, I'm going to eat it by itself. Just so I can give it a chance to disappoint me again. It's nice. Sliced like beef-ish. It's fatty and it's not really giving me a whole lot. It's like half a step above like sliced deli beef. On its own, I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5 claws. It's not bad. I think mostly it's just me, but I've been thinking of a way to trick myself into loving it more, and that is the whole reason why, instead of like dousing it with sauce, which is what I would normally suggest, it's exactly why I kept the pepper jelly. Yeah. Much better. That's giving me more of like a fajita vibe. I can rock with that. At least just to hold the sauce while I shovel it in my mouth. 3.75 out of 5 claws. It ain't going above a 4, but I like that it serves a purpose now at the very least. Now we have the delicious, the ever-reliable, the fistful of knobs, the corn that's reliable and beautiful as Bullseye is in this entire movie. Bullseye is like the R2 of the Toy Story world. He doesn't get enough credit for all the things he does, but honestly, these toys would be nowhere if not for Bullseye. This corn, I want to be everywhere it's at. Every single time I eat a piece of corn on the cob, and this may be drilled into me as elder millennial, I want to eat it like a typewriter. Like old school Tom and Jerry, ching, every single time. I cannot bite into a ear of corn and not think that. And I have eaten corn like that and made the sounds in my head before. I'm not even remotely ashamed of that. What's the point of eating food if I can't have fun while doing it? And this corn, even as simple as it is, buttered, little like parsley and the Parmesan and the crumbs. It's not fancy, but it's fun. 4.5 out of 5 claws.
I have my own bowl of charred knobs, and I'm not a fan of the eared corn. In fact, when we go to Food and Wine, I get the eared corn and then I shuck it onto a plate because it's so much easier to eat the kernels than it is to eat the whole corn, unless you bring floss. And I unfortunately forgot my little bag of floss today, so I'm taking the babyest of corn bites. What I love about this corn is the char. The char is beautiful. I wish they had earth balance. Like, earth balance would totally make this corn. As it is, I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5 corns. It's good. It's just corn, though. Like, I'm jealous of Bear's corn. I would love that, like, Gremolata. I'm saying that wrong. Gremolata. I'm still saying it wrong, but you know what I mean. The stuff they put on the cauliflower, they should put that on this corn, and then it would be
double the corn, double the problems. Anytime you add more corn, the same as adding another Buzz Lightyear, you're gonna have some problems. And Buzz Lightyears in a group are a whole problem. No spoilers, but still. Corn? I know the princess hates corn on the cob, but she does, I'm assuming, probably have pocket parm in her bag.
I do.
Might be kind of good on this. A little biases built in because I do love corn. I like it both ways. I like it with the crumbs, like it without, buttered, without, just like cooked with the char. Perfectly fine for me. I could easily eat just a bowl of the corn and the salmon, and you can keep the rest of this, honestly. To me, 5 out of 5 claws.
Well done, Chow folks. Regular, secure.
A nice bowl of barbecue beans, the non-vegan version. They exist. Got a nice, thick, clumpy thing of beans, cooked nice. Got some peppers and some onions in there. I see a little bit of seasoning down in there. And a little bit of meats. Nice and smoky. The fatty pieces of meat add much to the flavor, but it's a nice bean. They're a bit, I wouldn't say a bit soft. They're a tiny bit, they could have been cooked a little bit longer. I expect beans to melt in my mouth. These do require half a chew. So minor. Barely difference. It's not going to matter. They still taste perfectly fine. If you want to live wild, as a kid, I would only eat baked beans if my mother gave me with mac and cheese, and then I'd mix them together. Mac and cheese and baked beans. I know mac and chili is a thing, but mac and baked beans was always my thing. These on their own, 3.25 out of 5 claws.
Like Sheriff Woody, we've been around here, these parts, for a very long time. In most cases, anything 2018 to now, we were there opening day, including this restaurant. We were here opening day. And on opening day, this was the only option for people to get. The baked beans with the jackfruit. Now, it's not even on the menu anymore. It's by request. And thankfully, most of the servers here, they'll ask you if you're vegan or vegetarian, and then they just load you up. You don't even have to special request the corn or this. They just bring it to you. So that is the way. Wish everybody was like that instead of being like, oh, it's not an allergy, it's a preference. I hate it when they do that. And just be nice. I don't know. People have bad days too, so I'm not mad at people for that. It's just, I just don't like it when people say, is it a preference or an allergy? It's just a little off-putting. Anyway, off my tangent, back to the beans. They mixed it with the sweet barbecue sauce, so it's like extra sweet, a little sweeter than the baked beans we make at home. If you like sweet beans, you're gonna like that. I do think mine are probably softer than Bear's because I didn't have to chew it at all. It was very gummy. It was very delicious. Jackfruit is delicious. I do think it makes it a little bit more sweet, but I would rather have it than not have it. Regal Eagle. I give it a 4 out of 5 beans. It is something you can put on other things. Like I could definitely eat my bratwurst with this or cauliflower.
I think many of us, including myself, before you had jackfruit, you underestimate the flavor possibilities that jackfruit can do. It holds sauces rather well. It very much soaks up what it's seasoned with. And I'm excited for this. I low-key believe that the jackfruit baked beans here are the superior version of the baked beans. I think they're better than the regular baked beans, but this is the perfect place for you to try to prove me wrong. Again, this is all care to enjoy. You can order a side of the vegan baked beans for no extra charge. Much better cooked. Literally like barbecue magic dissolved in your mouth. The threads of the jackfruit pair very well. And it gives it like almost like a tart sweet flavor that does rather well. I definitely think these are the better beans. The fatty, it has a characteristic for like the non-vegan ones, but these, I think it's a much better, much more even flavor. Give these 3.75 out of 5 claws.
Assume your positions in 3, 2, 1.
Well, partners, this here train's reached its final destination. Molly, you're gonna bust up the place then. Come on there, little lady.
Well done, cowpokes. Regular, secure.
I never know what's going on with the mac and cheese at Roundup Rodeo. We have brought friends with us to this restaurant, and they have described this as some of the worst mac and cheese on Walt Disney World property. I used to love mac and cheese back when I wasn't lactose intolerant. So looking at this and hearing the description never makes me excited for it. It's not cheesy. It's not nothing. Today, technically, is Juneteenth. Technically. It is actually Juneteenth. The princess shared a meme of mac and cheese. If you are, graced enough to follow us on other social medias, she posted mac and cheese to our story. It's Juneteenth mac and cheese and July 4th mac and cheese. This is July 4th mac and cheese. This is not Juneteenth mac and cheese. And I do expect my reparations check mailed to the P.O. box. Not from you guys. The community owes us nothing. You guys are already special. Everybody else, I expect a check. God. That is... It don't even look like crab. It just looks like orangey mess. That feels like a waste of a magic pill, to be honest. I suppose, technically, it is cheese, but it's like the American cheese of mac and cheeses. That's how, like, little cheesy joy it provides in its bite. It barely sticks to the noodles. It's given one of, like, Sid's concoctions under, like, a magnifying glass. That level of just, like, I don't need this. That is a 1.5 out of 5 class. However, I talked about it, so I'm going to be about it. I'm going to take some of my baked beans. These are the non-vegan baked beans. And I'm going to take some of this disastrous-looking mac and cheese. And with the power of my magic pill, I'm going to take a second bite. Because the mac and cheese gives nothing, the baked beans are doing all the work. Think like Mrs. Potato Head. All the heavy lifting. Mac and cheese, give nothing. The combination, I'm giving 3.2 out of 5 claws, but that's mainly because you can barely taste the mac and cheese anyway.
This is the coleslaw. I almost wish they didn't make vegan coleslaw because every time that they have coleslaw, it's either really dry or really vinegary. They recently removed the vegan coleslaw from Regal Eagle, and Bear and I were discussing that, and it was literally our conclusion. It's like either too vinegary or too dry. This one looks, well, there's some, can you see there's like wetness at the bottom, so this one's probably going to be vinegary. Scared. It just tastes like wet cabbage. Do not like 1 out of 5 coleslaws. Not my jam.
I don't consider myself a connoisseur of anything that I can give my foodie expertise. We do consider ourselves foodies, but I am not a master of all foods. More like I will try any foods. Coleslaw is like one of my like foodie hyperfixations. I love coleslaw. I will eat coleslaw by itself. I love it, 100%. Already, this is not inspiring confidence. It just looks wesh. As I'm forking it, I'm not getting any sort of like crunch feedback. I got carrots, I got the cabbage. See how it tastes. Look at this liquid down here in the bottom. Maybe that'll help. It's the kind of coleslaw that makes me want to just give up on life and just marry Forky myself. Life is over, why not? After that bite, it's like wet slaw. Little vinegary, but it's nothing burger. 1.25 out of 5 claws.
Approaching the rodeo. Drop your lassos and assume your positions. In 3, 2, 1.
It preserves no match for the bravest rangers in the galaxy and the Wild West.
I've got an order here for Mrs. Davis.
Oh, right, Pizza Planet. Mom, dinner's here.
Well done, cowpokes. Bring it over. Take care of it.
Now we have the tots, the potato barrels, as we call them here in Toy Story Land. The thing you get with a beautiful grilled cheese at Woody's Lunchbox. I have no use for these here, unless I have kids with me, and I don't. So I guess you could drench them in barbecue sauce. I will say, the crunch is perfect. Not too salty. It does tot very well. It's just not what I want in my barbecue. But I can see why it's here and why it's needed. I will give it a 4 out of 5 tots. I am an equal opportunity tot lover.
I dedicate these tots to the weird kids. I was a weird kid. Toy Story 5 is dedicated to the weird children. Be uniquely yourselves. Don't let anybody else tell you who you are. You know who you are. Be you, unapologetically. That's a great message all year round for Toy Story. For Pride Month, because it is still Pride Month, I'm not getting off that hill. To the weird kids. Because the potato barrel, honestly, it's the weird kid of the potato family. It has a strategic service area that I feel is good for holding sauce. Perfect amount of crunch, perfect amount of salt. Just enough to like spark a little excitement, a little rhythm on your tongue, but not enough to scare you away to a glass of water. That 3.5 out of 5 plus.
Well done, cowpokes.
Now, usually toys wouldn't drink, but we're in a magical place, and being older toys, we're going to consume a beverage or two. Their beverage menu is not huge here. They do have a bunch of premixed cocktails. They're not horrible, but they're not great either. So I decided to go with a Beta Purple Haze Raspberry. The princess did get a drink as well, but she was able to get a Jameson and Ginger, which isn't on the menu. They have a very, very limited bar, but apparently they do have Jameson. So Jameson for her, raspberry flavored beer for me. It's slightly purple. It's given like a raspberry radler level, but I like it. It's very relaxed. It's very drinkable beer. I like the Abitas, I just don't come across them very often. I usually only drink Abita if we're like Port Orleans, or it's like Mardi Gras Universal. But I'll take it when I'm here. I'll give that 4 out of 5 plus.
My one and only vegan dessert is of a strawberry variety, and I'm not mad at it. You know, we've done this whole video, we haven't said a word really about leaf pad. Leaf pad? Lily pad. Lily pad. I guess that's all I'm going to say about it. Strawberry shortcake, very strawberry forward. There's that crumble on the bottom that is supposed to be the shortcake. It's kind of like the same crumble that you get from a lot of the seasonal desserts that you get at like, I'm trying to think. It's like a cobbler maybe. There's one at like Grand Floridian Cafe, Turf Club. I can't think of any other ones right now, but I know at least those two, they do like a cobbler situation, and it's usually like a fruit with a crumble on top. This is the crumble on the bottom, fruit on top, and chilled with like a cream. So a little bit more sophisticated, but also small. This is one place where I am not mad that the dessert is small, because we ate a lot of food up until this. I had 3 rib chops. Outing myself, whatever. This is delicious. This is a 5 out of 5. It is a Princessities item. I'm sad I have to share it with Bear, but also I don't know if I'm going to finish it. I'm just being gluttonous.
Honestly, when it comes to desserts here at Roundup Rodeo, the desserts are about the size of like your typical like Disney buffet dessert. But honestly, to me, this is peak performance for desserts. I want dessert. I want like a little bit more than a taste. I want to taste it. I want a couple more bites and then I'm done. I have a really hard time eating desserts even in a normal meal. I don't want much more than this right here. This is like perfect bear-sized dessert. Always a little like subtle twist on the strawberry shortcake. Doesn't go far enough towards the shortcake vibe to me. But much like these afternoon desserts, there are 2 after credit scenes for Toy Story. like a mid-credits, and there is an after-credit scene. So stay all the way to the end. They're enjoyable. Not critical to the movie, but enjoyable.
Hi, folks.
I would give this
I'm here at the Roundup
3.75 out of 5
Rodeo.
plus.
Next day,
My favorite part of any place where I'm going to be forced to get a dessert, especially as much as we come, is when we get to the point where I've had them all, and I just get to pick the one that I want. In this case, it is the banana cream pie, because I love bananas. And it's probably one of the few desserts that I have a hard time resisting. It's not banana pudding, but it's close. Banana, cream, a little bit of pie crumble. It's basically just banana like jello, like actual like banana pudding, a little bit of cream, and then a little cake crumble on top. No complaints, very banana forward, very tasty, very smooth. Thicker than a mousse, but thinner than a paste. Give it 4 out of 5 plus. As this entire restaurant is basically now serving as Forky's wedding reception, it seems only fitting that we get us a little Forky cupcake. There's a little licorice, there's a little cream, there's a little head popping out. This is an optional dessert. You don't have to get it, but it is an option if you should want it. There's a little plastic cup, which makes it even harder to eat. I guess we're just gonna do this in bear style. I got a fork already. Typical Disney cupcake. I can comment that the Forky does go all the way to the bottom. That was mostly Forky that I ate. 3.25 out of 5 claws. The Forky itself, like a shortbread cookie, leaves a bit to be desired, but still good. Round me up, roll me out, and give me a napkin because I messed all over myself.
I'm very, very full.
Yes, an excellent meal as always. I think for theme park barbecue, it's better than you expect. It's still not as good as some other options around Walt Disney World, but I always have a good time in there. It's always fun. The cast members are great. We missed like a little Duke Kaboom flying around the room. We didn't, all the times we've been, we've never seen that before.
Yeah,
That
and
was
the
fun.
Party Stories Rex, like having a cast member dress up like the dinosaur, we hadn't seen that before because we were usually in a different room, so that was super fun. Just as fun as the movie too, I think. It is a great installment to the entire Toy Story collection, and I'm excited for it to come out on Disney Plus. I'll probably watch it again.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to rank it one of my favorites. I think I'd give the movie overall a 4.5 out of 5 claws. We have actually debated going to see it in theaters again, but we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have time for that, but I would agree with Bear. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 Toy Stories also, and I think they're going to keep making those movies until, I don't know, it's going to be worse than Halloween.
And typical, the real villain in this movie, the parents. The parents are the villains. I'm kidding. Either way, it was a good movie. The meal was good. I'm glad that we can do like these movie reviews / companion pieces. If you guys like this format, let us know. We're more than willing to do this for other things. You just
For sure.
need a reason. Comments is always the only place to let us know things like that. If there's anything else you'd like to see us do, that will always be the place to find us. Hit that notification bell if you want to see other videos like this. And
We have new videos 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
we'll see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, well, will Bear ever round up a rodeo again?
Maybe I'll wear a cowboy hat.
Maybe you'll be a cow bear?
Cowboy. Yeehaw. Sure, the girl.
Cow print little mini vest. Yes.
Okay.
With a little cow print bow tie.
This is getting weirder all the time. I'm sure the girl.
Vegan one.
Vegan
cow.
cow vest.
Yes.
Got it. It's in my notes.
Yes.
The notes app.